There's a certain milestone in a woman's life that can that can be the start to a beautiful relationship, but it can also be the end of a beautiful friendship and a beautiful sisterhood. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist, and one of the things that can literally end a woman's relationships with her female friends, in particular her best friends, her sisters, and the women who have always shown up for her, is when that woman gets married. And one of the reasons why this is such a turning point in a woman's life is because, this is a nuanced situation where this day has become all about one woman, and she expects people to show up for her. Now, how she expects people to show up for her will vary woman to woman. And I'm sure most of you have heard about or know about the show Bridezillas, which is where a woman turns into a completely different character where she's completely self serving. She doesn't want to hear any excuses, and she expects all of the people that are involved in her wedding, bridesmaids, sisters, and whatnot, to be at her beck and call, and can become quite demanding, quite condescending, and have no holds bars when it comes to speaking to people in her wedding party. Anything from expecting her wedding party to pay for the entire wedding or pay for their participation in the wedding, pay for everything, and also be there at her beck and call. That could be one way in which the bridezilla comes out. The other way in which the bridezilla comes out is, them really telling you how they feel about you in a not so pleasant way, and that could be them cursing you out, them being hostile, and just being very flippant, very coy, degrading even, to the point where everyone becomes embarrassed. That's one way that bridezilla can certainly be a true force of nature. And the drawback excuse is, well, it's my day, it's my wedding. If you cared about me, then you would show up for me. Brides to be can also be passive aggressive. If you don't jump at their beck and call, or if you don't do things in the way that they like, they could secretly, play switcheroos and get someone else to be the maid of honor, matron of honor, step in and sort of be bashing you behind your back to other people in the bridal party and saying, well, you're not stepping up, and she's not sure about you, and she switches you out of nowhere. And this has been something that we've seen on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. We've seen this on Little Women of Atlanta. So we've seen this play out on quite a few reality shows, and it could be devastating. It could be a devastating blow to someone who's actually trying to be a real friend, to then secretly be put out of the wedding party unbeknownst to them. Things can get downright dirty and devious, and it can seem like an episode of Hunger Games, honestly. The bride will continue to test the limit and absolutely expect you to keep showing up for more. Other ways in which this can show up, in particular when it comes to family members, especially like mothers and sisters and whatnot, is that you guys may have had, lifelong dreams of being in each other's weddings and had always sort of promised each other to be in the wedding, or at least thought that you were close enough to know about the wedding. And sometimes family members, and even those who are closest to us, can can surprise us and secretly get married without ever letting us know. The reality is they didn't want to tell you about the wedding. They may not even introduce you to their partner or tell you that they are considering marrying their partner. They don't want to hear any objection. They don't want to have to go through any muss, no fuss. And they just kind of run away and get married. And then you just hear about it one day by happenstance. They casually drop it in conversations, and they expect that you're going to be okay with it. they actually almost seem offended that you would feel betrayed or feel some type of way by being cut out or eliminated from that information altogether, because after all, they don't feel like it's any of your business, or you don't have a right to have feelings about something, an event that took place for them. Another nuanced situation that brides may find themselves in when it comes to their friends, sisters, or women that are around them are that they expect to dump, all of the responsibilities onto their friends, that their friends are going to take care of it, almost like be a wedding planner or arrange their weddings, and maybe even taking on the expense of their wedding. Another aspect of passive aggressiveness that shows up is the bride will stop answering the calls from her friends and family in the wedding party. She is so annoyed and so irritated and just so beyond all of you. You guys are beneath her. So she will become passive aggressive and disappear for a few days, stop answering your questions or your concerns, and she's just going to do her for a little while. She is literally giving you the virtual finger, and that she wants nothing to do with you and cannot be bothered with the likes of you right now. Lastly, one thing that I will mention in terms of a bride really parting ways, or, damaging her friendships and relationships with women, is telling you what she really feels about you in a not so pleasant way, and telling you that basically she despises this friendship, or it's basically useless to her at this point. And, you could not show up for her wedding and she would be just fine without you. So she's basically putting the kill switch on your friendship in every way that she can. And the onus is really on you on whether or not you go back in for seconds or thirds. Because, in my opinion, once she said this, she's meant what she said. But a lot of women, what they try to do is, excuse this by saying that she's under pressure. Um, she knows not what she says, and she really does love me. She's just really angry right now, and we'll give her time to cool off, that type of stuff. So the onus is really on you. But let this be a lesson. A lot of times when people are under stress and duress, or the influence, even, because sometimes alcohol can also bring out the worst in a bride as well. But these tantrums and other verbal spats and things like that, that could really be telling you something about the friendship, and she's letting you know how she feels about you. So let me know if you've had any experience with a bridezilla, if you've, experienced ending a friendship or experiencing another side to your mother or other women in your family who've disrespected you, all in the name of getting married. Hope this helps. Thanks so much. One last interesting little situation that I'll bring up here is women that you don't really have a relationship with, that want you to be a part of their wedding party. So women that you might call yourself associates, or you haven't seen each other in years. They suddenly now want you to be front and center. This is particularly true for women who are successful or have status. So they really want to align themselves with you when you have success or have status, or really want to garner a certain type of reaction from their friends and family from having somebody like you be a part of their wedding party. They become they become very obsessed with it and very forceful with wanting you to be a part of their wedding party. Let me know if you've experienced that. Thank you.